In a beautiful country called South Africa lives this beautiful lady here called Zindy. Zindy is an online streamer who is seen talking to her fans about her show titled Soft Love. Now, Zindy here is about to get married. She seemed really happy, excited, but then something happened. Meet Zindy, a beautiful, young, and innocent girl who has now grown into a beautiful teenager who is in love with a boy named Dumi. Dumi and Zindy had their first kiss. And now Dumi and Zindy are now grown adults. And their love for each other continues to grow and grow and grow and grow so beautifully. And then voila, Zindy received a surprise package. And it says, marry me. We all ladies love that moment, I must say. And that was how Dumi proposed to Zindy. And she was so happy. She was so excited. I must say that this is truly soft love because, this is the man that she has been dating for over 15 years, since when she was young. And now this guy finally proposed to her. What are you saying? I'm so happy for her. And the ring looks so beautiful. Now let's get the wedding started. Who is the most happiest person on earth right now? Zindy Jele. Of course, it has to be her. She's so happy connecting with her fans right now because it's our wedding day. Our friends came in to support her, to embrace her. They're so happy for her. They're really excited, especially a very close friend TK, who of course is beautiful, so beautiful. Now the D-Day is here. It's our wedding day. The cooking is going nice. South African food. I haven't tasted it before, but I would love to taste it one of these days. No, one day I meant. And the tables are set. The food is ready. Our bride is ready, looking so elegant and beautiful on our wedding dress, ready to be taken away by our husband to be. And then we see Dumi waiting for his bride to be, and she walked elegantly to him. All of a sudden, he started looking weird, started acting weird. And Zindy had to ask him, Dumi, are you okay? Are you okay? Hello, are you okay? He was looking so weird. He was looking like he's out of this world, like he's not with them. And then he's like, you know what, Zindy, I cannot do this. And he flew. He left. He ran straight to the car that was supposed to carry the boat, bride, and the groom to their amazing, beautiful honeymoon. This guy flew and left our baby girl Zindy standing there. Oh my days. I felt really bad for her watching this particular scene. Few days after that, Zindy was still seen in a wedding dress, scrolling through her phone on her bed, looking so sad, crying like a baby, checking through the comments, the bad comments, of course, people tracking her on social media. I feel really bad for her, but it is what it is. Thank God she has a friend like TK in her life who was just there to console her, to tell her that, you know what, this is not the end of it, babe. You have to get up, get changed, get dressed, get over it, and get better. While she was trying to encourage her friend to, get things together, then a knock came in. And then voila, it turns out to be Dumi. I'm like, what is this guy looking for? What else do you want? And then he's like, can I come in? Of course you can. Anyways, he walked inside and then it was like he wants to see our baby girl Zindy. Zindy was so happy to see him because she has been expecting him to at least call. And then it's like, Zindy, I'm sorry. And then she's like, yes, I know you're sorry. We can work things out. Don't worry. We're gonna get better. While she was trying to basically calm him down, encourage him that don't worry, understand the fact that probably you had cold feet and everything, but you know what, things are gonna work out fine. The guy just blew my mind with his statement, Zindy, I am gay. I'm like, what? Zandy was heartbroken. Zandy was sad, shocked, devastated. I don't even know the word for it, but no, that was a big shocker. She looked at the ring. She cried. Of course, TK was even very sad as well. That night, TK took Zandy to a club. At least try to enjoy your life. Try to get away from the old drama. Just basically to make her forget everything that has happened to her. And then, while she was trying to, run away from the old thing, TK was so persuasive that, you know what, girl, you just have to be here. Forget about everything. Forget about social media. Forget about what Dumi had done. Just forget about everything and just focus on yourself. Enjoy yourself to the fullest. Do something wrong. Do something bad and regret it later, And then while they were having that conversation, one fine white guy like that, would I say white? I think Afkas came to meet. One fine Afkas came to meet TK, and then he's like, why didn't you give me your number? You just left like that without dropping your contact. I'm like, who is this guy? The guy is so fine. His name is Benji. And Benji was like, you know what? Why don't we just continue from where we stopped? All those talk, drama, and everything between Benji and TK ended up inside the toilet. They ended up leaving our baby girl Zandy standing there trying to look for someone to save her. But unfortunately for her, it wasn't just going well at all. Zandy left the club really angry and so pissed, and then she was trying to get into her car, only for her to see someone who was being robbed, and then she tried to help the person. She took her pepper spray, tried to spray it on those people, but she ended up spraying it on this person. That person got so offended. I'm talking about the one and only Edward. Yes, fine, fresh guy. Yes, the Nigerian fresh, fine guy. Yes. He was so pissed at her because while trying to help him, she ended up allowing those thieves to get away with his belongings and a car key. Edward walked out on her and left her there. She was so pissed and angry, and then she decided to try her absolute best to just get into her car. Obviously, that's not going to be possible, so she had to put a call through to TK. TK could not pick her call because she's there enjoying herself with her Benji. Eventually, our Uncle Edward came back, and then it's like, okay, let me try to help. Can you please give me your AirPin? And before you know it, the way she closed her eyes was already sending some romantic signal to Uncle Edward. And that alone made him fall in love with her at that moment. All of a sudden, a cop just showed up saying that they were trying to steal a car that is not theirs. Zandy tried to explain that this is my car. I just lost my key. This is my car. But the cop is like, no way, I'm taking you guys. And that was how they got arrested. While they were together in the custody, Zandy and Edward were not really getting along at all because she kept on pacing around. She kept on getting so pissed and angry, saying that if not because she was trying to help Uncle Edward, she wouldn't be in this situation right now. They were trying to put blame on each other. At the end of the day, somehow they were able to calm down. She felt really cold, and then Edward was so romantic that he had to hand over his jacket to her, and then finally somebody came to their rescue. TK was able to call them, and then she came, and then she was able to rescue them, basically, and that was how they got out of that station that very night. Zandy and TK had to take Edward home that very night. And of course, it was an opportunity for Zandy to get to know where our fine boy Edward stays. And of course, you guys know something is already going on between these two. It's just not pronounced yet. So Edward had to, give her some water to drink. And then she's like, wow, this is nice. I love your camera. And then Edward took a picture of her. I must say that Zandy is so beautiful. She is so beautiful. While all those things are going on, TK was busy. I was wondering what she was looking for. She was busy going up and down the house looking for what? I don't know what she was looking for. Anyways, the next morning, Zandy woke up to a breakfast, a nice breakfast made by TK, of course. So I have to apologize to her for stressing her out during that club drama. Like, she literally made her go to club only for her to go and be with Benji. Left her there and then she got arrested. So she just has to make it up to her friend. I feel like every female needs a friend like TK in their life. I need a friend like TK in my life, trust me. Now here is TK whining a friend Sandy about Edward. And then she decided to like tell us the reason behind her snooping around Edward's house. And she's like, oh my God, that guy is so fine. And guess what? He does not have a girlfriend. How did I know? He does not have any female products in his house. Oh, you see why I said this girl is the best female friend anybody can have? She's just amazing. Now here is Edward talking to his mama from Nigeria, of course, and his mommy is telling him to come back to Nigeria to come and take over the family business. And then Edward is saying, Mommy, no. Mommy, don't retire. I'm sure you have at least 10 years to still work more. You cannot retire. The mama said, no, Edward, you have to come. I want to travel. I want to start dating someone. I want to enjoy life. I want to travel to Asia. Edward was like, Mommy, what is this? What are you saying? This does not make any sense. See, I have a dream and I'm pursuing my dream here in South Africa. You, this boy. All these children of nowadays. You better hurry up and come back to Nigeria and come and handle your father's business. I mean, what is all this? What is this? Here is Zindy and Edward. Now, Zindy had to come see Edward at his office. Somehow, she was able to get the address. I do not know how, but she was able to figure it out. And I must say that this address is calling my name. These two are already in love because they could not just wait to see each other again. It was so amazing. The tension was there. The atmosphere was so romantic. It was just so beautiful. Oh my God. When you're just longing for somebody and you just want that person to just touch you, that person to hug you too. Oh my God. Now, when they were about to do, someone walked in on them and tried to interrupt them. I'm like, who are you? Who are you? And then she ran out and drove off. And here is Zindy again at Edward's office. It's weekend, and guess what? She's just here for him. Edward was surprised to see her, even though he had mentioned weekend before. But she acted as if she wasn't listening to him. But she's here for the guy. She's here for Edward. She's here for the love of her life. And then he's like, I want to go to shoot. And then she offered to be his chauffeur. And that was how they left together. Now, when they got to where they were supposed to shoot, after shooting, something happened. Before you know it, Edward started using the paint to play with her, splash some of the paint on her jumpsuits, which I think that jumpsuit is so beautiful. Edward shouldn't have done that. But I mean, it's a romantic play, I understand. From play to, chop lips. And then they ended up in Edward's house and something went down the drain. You know what I mean? Yo. And that was how Edward and Zindy kickstarted their relationship, even though it's not official yet. But it has been really consistent. The lovey-dovey, the sweet moochie things that they do is so sweet and romantic. Now this thing is so funny. This was the part where Edward was teaching Zindy how to eat eba and okra soup, and it's like you put it in your mouth and then you swallow. Honestly, guys, I cannot relate to this because I don't know how to swallow. I had that chew, then swallow whatever it is left in my mouth. But truly, I don't know how to swallow. Am I the only person that does that? Please let me know in the comment section. And here is Amaka fixing her nails inside the office. As the madam of the office now, you know what I mean. Anyways, she got a call from Edward. Edward telling her that you need to sign the divorce papers. Amaka signed the divorce paper. I mean, what is wrong with you, for heaven's sake? What exactly is your problem? You, this woman, did they send you to me? Sign the divorce papers. Amaka said no. She's not signing any divorce papers. So Edward received a congratulatory email saying that he has gotten in for this photographer program he was trying to really apply for. And apparently that is basically to showcase his work as a photographer. It will make him travel all around the country, at Paris, like very amazing places. So he was very happy about it. And then I need to talk about the fact that Edward's sister does not like Amaka at all, because she could tell that this lady is just a scam. She's just there chopping our money. Now here is Edward talking to his mom about needing $20,000 for his project. I meant the program, the photography program. And his mom was like, Edward, there is no how I will give you $20,000. I'm sorry. Come home and take over the family business. Happy, what is wrong with you, this child? For heaven's sake, eh? What is all this to be alone? Ah. Zandy is back on soft love. I mean, why not? She's having the most softest of love right now with Edward. And trust me, I am really, really excited for her. She's free to give her relationship tips, relationship OTs here and there. But for me, I personally feel like you cannot know it all when it comes to relationship though. But that's just by the way. Anyways, after that, now Edward is worried about his $20,000. How is he going to raise $20,000? Now this white guy who happens to be his colleague in the office advised him to do a silent sponsorship. Silent sponsorship? Guys, that is not funny. Anyways, Zandy decided to see Edward and talk about their relationship. And she's like, Edward, what exactly is going on? She said to like open up about her past relationship with Dumi, how Dumi left us standing on their wedding day and just ran away. And then Edward was like, oh, I'm so sorry. So she's like, what exactly are we doing? And he's like, I wasn't expecting this, honestly. I wasn't expecting this. But trust me, right now I'm going through a lot. There's this program I'm trying to, and then she had to cut him short. So you're saying you don't have plans for us? And then he's like, no, that's not it now, baby. No, of course I have plans for us, but I'm just not in the right frame of mind right now. See, I need $20,000 for this, that. And that was how Zandy decided to open a crowd fund for her and Edward. And then Edward started to open up to her that I did a silent sponsorship in the office. And then she's like, what is that? And then it's like, you had to take some money from the office without them knowing. I'm like, yo, guy, what kind of step is that? Of course, Zandy did not like the idea. She wasn't happy about it. I mean, that's like you stealing, basically. So she didn't like the idea at all. But he tried to like calm her down, tried to like make her see reasons and all. But let's move on. So, and that was how my Zandy and Edward were having a very good time under the shower inside the house. And that was how Amaka came from nowhere, all the way from Nigeria to South Africa, knocked at the door, and then apparently Zandy had to be the one to open the door. And then she's like, who are you looking for? Why are you here? Who are you? Blah 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 blah. And then Amaka is like, I'm supposed to be the one who asking you, who are you? What are you doing here? What are you doing in my man's house? And that was how the Kasala boss. That was how the drama started. And that was how the real deal started. And Zandy was so upset. She was so furious. She was so angry, and she ran out. And she left. Edward kept on calling her name. It is not what you think. I'm sorry. It is not what you think. Let me explain. Let me explain what? I mean, how could you hide your wife from me? How could you? She got home to her friend TK. Her friend tried to calm her down, blah 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 blah. And then she now started saying, how could you allow this to happen to you? Why do you always allow guys take you for granted? This, that. I'm like, yo, girl, you're supposed to be saying that. You're supposed to just be calming her down now. TK, don't do that. And all of a sudden, Benji, who happens to be TK's Bobo, came out from nowhere. And then Zandy was like, really? So you can actually hide your boyfriend inside the room, but I am not free to have a man? Seriously? And that actually got her upset, and she walked out. Edward took an envelope and then told Amaka, if you don't leave my house now, I will leave. So please leave my house. Amaka tries to talk to Edward. Edward, Eddie, baby, what is wrong with you? Why are you talking to me like this? I said, leave my house, or I will leave. Then Edward ran straight to Zandy's house, knocking at the door, knocking. And then TK opened the door, and TK was like, what do you want? She doesn't want to see you, so please leave. Edward tried to beg TK, please let me see. She doesn't want to see you. Alright, fine. Can you at least help me give her this? TK took the envelope and then threw it on the floor inside the house. Zindy came back to a stream to announce to people that she is no longer doing anything called soft love. That soft love, unfortunately, has come to an end. Only for Edward to get to the office and he's hearing his boss saying, "That is him. Please take him away. Take him away. I don't want thief in my company." And that was how he was taken away. And then he now saw Zindy. They looked at themselves. Obviously, Zindy snitched on him. I feel like Zindy was actually really tough. But I wouldn't know because I don't know how it feels like. I don't want to know how it feels like. So maybe she was just really hurt and she just wanted to really, really get back at him. And here is Zindy and TK. TK said to apologize to Zindy for what she did concerning hiding Benji inside the room, and you're now advising me to do something else. Anyways, they were able to settle their matter and they are now cool now. Let's go to Nigeria where our Edward is. Edward looking so sad, so horrific. This guy has refused to go and undo his family business. He's just stuck inside the house. Thank God for the sister that kind of tried to pull him out by telling him that Oga Amaka is stealing from the office. We need to expose her. Even though at first he didn't believe his sister, but somehow he has to just believe her. And that was how he ended up going to the office. The mother was so happy to see his child. Like, my son, Eddie baby, my son, is so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming to the office. Eddie is obviously not happy with Amaka. Like, he cannot just stand a sight of her at all. Anyways, while Eddie is busy doing his own thing in Nigeria, Zindy is doing her own thing in South Africa. Now, let me bust your bubble. Let me tell you what happened. Now, Zindy was able to get Edward's camera back because he had to sell some of his cameras just to raise that $20,000. Now, Zindy is set to go back to Nigeria to get her bubble back. She's so happy. She's excited. And now she's in Lagos, Nigeria. And guess what? She just walked into the restaurant with the camera inside the carton, on her hand. And voila, Edward saw her and was like, "What is this girl doing here?" And then he had to walk up to her. "What are you doing here? What are you looking for? What are you doing here?" With so much anger on his face. The sister was also there. Sister was like, "Eddie, won't you even say hi or something? Won't you even greet her first?" Anyways, the sister was so happy to see her because she has heard about her. And then immediately she took her to their house. Very nice sister, right? I know. Finally, Zindy is now settled at Edward's place. Now, Edward did not even want to talk to her at all. Thank God for the sister. So I was like, "Won't you even talk to her?" Eventually, he went to meet her. And then he's like, "What are you doing here? What do you want?" And then she's like, I'm sorry I did what I did." Seriously, you're sorry when you almost ruined my life? "I'm sorry. I just felt really bad by the way you treated me. How could you hide a wife from me? Like, what were you even thinking?" Anyways, Edward was still very upset. He did not even want to hear. At that moment, he was just very pissed at her. And then he just walked out. Thank God the sister was just there to, calm her down. Fast forward to the next thing. So, this same sister who is really smart, sorry, I can't remember her name, was able to bring everybody together, including Zindy. I'm talking about Amaka, their mom, Edward, the sister, and Zindy. Everybody seated on the table and they just want to expose Amaka's deeds. And they succeeded in exposing all her scamming deeds to the mom. Hearing this, knowing this, the mom was so pissed at her, so angry, because they had to, show the audit results of the company, and it turns out Amaka has just been scamming the office, taking money from the office, taking money from the company. So she was so upset, and then she sent Amaka away. "Pack your things and leave immediately." Amaka, of course, did not take it very well. Instead, she just came, "You OBs at this, at that. You think you can just come and, drag me all the way?" I'm like, once you get caught, darling, you're supposed to just be calm, repent, try to be sober, try to look sad, try to be soft. But Amaka was just being very defensive. Anyways, she was just out. And guess what happened after that? My dear Edward walked out of that room and he was just looking at the sky. And then my darling Zanny came towards him at the back and she's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got your cameras back. Immediately he had cameras back. He's like, you got my cameras back? Yes. He was so excited. He just hugged her. And she's like, I also got the $20,000 from the crowd fund. And we're so happy. And Johnny Drew was right there at the right time to play the perfect romantic song for them. Amazing, right? I know. And everybody was fine. And that was how Edward and Zandy got back together. And now soft love is back. But then soft love is not perfect. No love is perfect. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. My name is Oludami.
Person that read this script made a mistake. She's supposed to look good like a lady in front of those people.